So hi Daniel, 1 year ago we interviewed you and it was a really different theme, really different tone, but this year is your anniversary, so congratulations.
Thank you so much. So Novarama will be 10 years next week, which makes us really happy because if you think about it, in the games business, there's not that many companies that actually reach 10 years of age, which means that we have accumulated more experience and we know better how to do great games, I hope.
So last year you told us that you had something really, really big, much bigger than before. I think we now know what it was, right?
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, titles are, they have different complexities. So basically, Invizimals, the Alliance, what we have been working on, took a long time. I mean, the first talks about Invizimals, the Alliance, go back to 2009, so that's 4 years ago. And actually, the development of the project has been going for the last 2 years. So that means that for a long time, we could tell no one what we were doing, and basically, we were the only ones hoping that one day we could really make this game a reality, and here we are.
And it's also two projects at the same time. It's the Alliance for the PS Vita
and the Forgotten Kingdom, the Lost Kingdom on PlayStation 3. Basically, the idea is that we have taken the Invizimals experience and we have separated it in two games. One of them, which is about the hunters of the Invizimals on the real world, and that's Invizimals, the Alliance, in which you're going to capture, battle, and collect Invizimals as you've done before. And then we have created a separate experience, which is Invizimals, the Lost Kingdom for PlayStation 3, which is an adventure in which one of us is going into the Invizimals world as an envoy to basically learn about their culture and their mythology, and along the way he's going, of course, to find enemies that he's going to have to defeat. The key feature of that game is that for the first time ever, you are an Invizimal. I mean, you're going to be a kid that actually has the power to transform himself into Tiger Shark or any of the key Invizimals, and that's really the selling point for this title.
That's really nice, and along with the super cool presentation you gave us demonstration on the PS Vita version, that I think we get a main idea. Also, this PS3 version in your 10 years of development is your first home console project. How has it been for you?
Well, it's been a learning experience. I mean, at the end of the day, we're very used to handheld consoles in a big number of levels. I mean, for example, we're used to graphics on small screens. We're used to mobility. We are used to some things that on a home console you don't have. But on the other hand, you have some things which are amazing. For example, you have a big screen. And a big screen is amazing to show environments, to show worlds, to show graphics, which we are never able to do, because if you think about it on augmented reality, it's amazing, but it happens here and now. So it's going to be as good or as bad as the environment in which you're in. But on a home console, actually, I can tell you an amazing story about a magical world and a magical civilization, because I can actually show you how that world looks like.
So now we talk about the PS3, we obviously have to ask you about the PS4. We've been talking to Max Cerny and attended his panel and shared the design philosophy behind the PS4, which is focused on developers, it's for developers and gamers. How did you felt that philosophy, and I don't know if you could share any feedback with the design team?
Well, I mean, we are not working on PS4 titles at this stage, so there's very little I can say. All I can say is that, generally speaking, we tend to work with companies who we do respect. And then hearing Max Cerny say those things about PS4 during this year, and also here at Gamelab, actually makes me reiterate our commitment to Sony, because at the end of the day, you want to feel that you are working on a company that you actually enjoy working for, and that's actually our case. In the case of PS4, I'm sure the time will come for us to do something on that machine. It's not that time yet. I mean, now PS4 is more about Killzone, and it's more about amazing games like Drive Club, etc. For us, PS3 is the way to go, just for a very simple reason, which is it's a console with a huge installed base. I'm sure a lot of kids have a PS3 at home that maybe they have never played before because it's from an older brother or it's from their dad or something like this, and those kids are going to begin playing on PS3 because of Invizimals, The Lost Kingdom. Then, in terms of PS4, all I can say is that we are, of course, very excited and waiting for the moment in which we will begin working on it, but it's not there yet.
And it looks great for you.
Of course it does look great. I mean, if you think about it, first, the machine itself looks great. in terms of the CPU power, in terms of the memory, in terms of the performance. Everything is perfect. And on the other hand, the strategy is really spot on. I mean, it's not me saying this, it's the whole community on the internet saying, you know, this E3 really belonged to Sony, because at the end of the day, you need to create a product that actually makes your customers happy. And in that case, I think Sony has been more accurate reading the minds of the consumers and understanding what do gamers want. I think at the end of the day, it's very easy, but at the same time, it's very hard. Because if you think about these huge companies, of course, it's really hard to follow exactly how decisions are made. But at the end of the day, Sony made the right one, and that's important.
So talking about strategies, Invizimals is not a video game only anymore. I mean, you also have animated series and on the TV, and maybe you can take something from the Skylanders strategy. I mean, have you ever thought of having all those little monsters into a toy?
To be honest, no. I mean, when I first saw Skylanders, I thought, you know, that's cute. That's a neat idea. You know, we never thought about anything similar to that. And to be honest, I think there's some really important differences about Skylanders and us. If you think about it, Skylanders has a lower collectible component. I mean, Skylanders at the end of the day, I think it's something like 30 something monsters. In terms of Invizimals, it's over 350, you know. And in terms of Invizimals, we try to innovate more on the gameplay, such as, you know, each hunting mechanic, each battle mechanic being brand new. So it's not so much something that we like to compare us with. Of course, they've been very successful, but our approach is a little bit different. I'm quite old myself. I'm 39 now. So my approach is more, let's say, Star Wars-like, in the way that really, yeah, they did films, then they did toys, then they did clothing, then they did, you know. It's more about invading all the types of entertainment with Invizimals products, not because we want to invade them, but more because our fans expect us to be there. Because if I was a kid, 8 years old, and I was a fan of Invizimals, yes, I would like to have a pajama like Tiger Shark. So we have to do that. And if I was a fan of Invizimals, yes, I would like to have a TV show, and I would like to have school gear, a backpack maybe, you know? So it makes sense just because people really do want to embrace their IPs in a more complete way.
So your fans also expect you to do some crazy stuff with augmented reality. We had reality fighters, obviously Invizimals. Yeah. What do you think the technology can bring us in the near future, or what do you want to achieve in that regard?
To be honest, we have been doing a lot of R&D in augmented reality for the last year, as you've seen on my demo. The problem is we have a game to ship this year. And to be honest, we hope we have more time to do more things with augmented reality, because we have lots of ideas of ways to use this new technology. I mean, this whole technology of augmented reality anywhere, of, you know, play in any surface, in any location, we think it will generate a ton of new gameplay opportunities. And of course, we hope to be the studio actually exploiting those opportunities in the next years. So you can expect us to do more games. I don't know if it will be Invizimals. I hope it is Invizimals, but we believe that there's really a lot more to be done with augmented reality, as you've seen today.
What do you think the other way around? Maybe like Wonderbook, because it's obviously augmented reality, but the other way, you have the camera on your TV.
You know, I mean, people who know me know that I said once, you know what, I wish I had some free time to do stuff for Wonderbook. I think it's a great idea. It's a really good idea. I'm a big fan. You know that the idea of Wonderbook actually came up. I know this because I know some of the guys doing it. It came up from pop-up books. You know these books that you open and they come to life? Okay, I love these books. I have a young daughter and she loves this kind of stuff. And I thought, you know what, it's a pop-up book that comes to life. How cool is that? I was, some days ago, seeing new games that they're doing for Wonderbook. I saw this one about a detective. It's called Dick's Nightcrawler. Yeah. And you know what, it's kind of like, it's so cool. You know, problem is, being a developer, it's kind of like, you know, sometimes there's a lot of things that you would like to do, but that you don't have the time to do. You know? But you can be sure that if we stop doing Invizimals anytime soon, you're going to see me doing Wonderbook games, because I think it's a brilliant idea.
Okay, closing one. So 1 year ago, yeah, your speech wasn't about your anniversary. It was about mobile apps model and the model that worked for you, that was AAA traditional development. Do you keep that stance, or has anything changed for you?
Yeah, the main change has been that the world has proved me right. The summary of my talk a year ago is, if you do mobile games, make sure you make a decent business out of them. So don't do mobile games based on economics which are flawed, which a lot of studios were doing at that time. And the fact is that a lot of mobile studios have learned the lesson the hard way, but actually shutting down, because they failed to realize that at the end of the day, the numbers need to add up. Then on my talk today, basically, remember that this is a Spanish event. So for me, it's also important to tell the community, hey, watch out for this, hey, watch out for that, because we are one of the oldest studios in Spain, so sometimes our opinion could be relevant to actually shape the strategy of the younger studios. So today, one of the things we were saying is, let's not confuse the consumer. If you want to create a great gameplay experience, do it. Don't give him shortcuts. Don't do, casino-like games which are actually equal to gambling. Gameplay is gameplay. Gambling is gambling. It's two totally separate worlds. So we shouldn't confuse consumers. We're blending one with the other, because it's actually two types of products that I think they don't get along very well.
Okay, thank you very much, and happy birthday again.
Thank you so much.